I'm just waiting. Great, I'm just waiting for something to set up here and it looks like we're good to go. So welcome everybody. My name is Andrea and welcome to Movement for Miracles. I wanted to have some fun today with a very, very simple brain gym activity, and also wanted to share with you a writing sample from a young girl that I worked with a few years back. And basically what I did was, she needed a lot of support, and the Brain Gym program, I love the Brain Gym program, but I needed to incorporate other things to help her integrate so that she had better access to Brain Gym. So that's kind of when Movement for Miracles was born, was working with these different kids and trying to see what kind of movements I could use to support their integration for academic, social, emotional success. So if you don't know me, my name is Andrea. I am a licensed teacher. I've taught in 3 different countries. I'm a licensed Brain Gym instructor. I've taught Brain Gym in different countries, 3 different countries. And I'm also a certified yoga instructor. I teach some yoga as well. And they all kind of meld together. And my passion for Brain Gym and for movement for learning came when I started using specific movement in schools to address learning issues more than the sort of intervention methods that are very popular now. I was addressing the root cause of the problem and not sort of the symptoms of the problem. So that'll become a little more clear as I show you this writing sample today. And here we go in showing you the writing sample. Essentially, one of the jobs I had in education was I had a number of students on my caseload with moderate to severe learning disabilities, and I would travel from school to school and work with them. I had 4 schools and I would go to 4 different schools a day and work with small amounts of kids, usually one-on-one. And in September of one year, I had a new student on my caseload. She was in grade 2, and I went into the classroom to get her to take into a smaller room to do some work. And she was working on a writing activity where the teacher had shown her on there's, I guess, blackboard back then, or on a larger piece of paper, how to neatly write in the number date in each square of a calendar. And so of course, why would teachers do this? This is practicing numbers, sequencing, counting, letter formation, following directions, all of that, days of the week. And the teacher had, in each box, a teacher had modeled a tiny little number in the corner so that then they could write in like homework or special days. And so I'm going to show you what the writing sample looked like in September. So here's my student, and she's got it the first 3. But if you can see, as she's moving, she's kind of losing the instructional focus, and it's getting bigger and bigger. You will notice that some of her numbers are reversed. So we have number reversals here, and we also have sizing, spatial issues. So what I know for sure from all my years of teaching is if a student has sizing and spatial issues on paper, they have sizing and spatial issues in themselves, meaning they're probably very uncoordinated. They don't really know where they end and the next person begins. They appear clumsy. They struggle with sports, catching balls, all of that stuff. So what I did was I would pull her to a room, like a classroom that was not with her students, and we would work on the physical skills needed for learning. So for example, movements that would subtly teach her where her midline was. Where was she in space? We would also sip water to help with hydration and brain function. we would do a number of activities that had her reaching and pulling in, reaching out, pulling in. We did a ton of stuff addressing midline and getting her more grounded, more comfortable in herself. And what happens when you work with kids over time is you don't really notice the differences that are happening. Now, I never actually had her work specifically on letter formation or number formation at all. It was all movement intervention. And then if she had some academic stuff to do, I would sit with her, but I really didn't see how fast things were changing until a month later when I went into the classroom, and now it's a new month and the teacher had a new calendar for them to fill out. And the old calendar that she had filled out was sort of above the new calendar. And I want to show you what the difference is. This is such an old copy, but I really want to show you in 1 month, by not trying to quote unquote stamp in the learning, by saying, no, in the corner. Like, if you're a teacher, you know what doesn't work. What doesn't work is banging your head against a wall saying, I told you to do it in the corner. I told you not to reverse. Da, 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 da. This was drawing out the learning. She was able, because she had such a stronger sense of her own midline, where she was in space, it's easier to see and place other things in space, including things that you write down on paper. So this was just a really cool example of how addressing the physical skills of learning really pay off.